Where's everyone?
9 participants.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Good afternoon, all the learners. Good afternoon. It is that day again, that time of the day again. I'd like to welcome everybody who is part of the lesson today. This is grade 9 home language. I welcome you. So, this is the second lesson for grade 9. If you are there in the chat, please say hi. Let me see who is here with us today. Let us see who is here with us today. Okay, there is a couple of highs in the chat. Thank you guys. It's so good to see that I'm not here alone, but we are here together. We are here to learn together. Yes. You're welcome, guys. I welcome everyone. This is our second lesson for grade 9. I'm still excited, I'm still excited. So let's get on with the lesson of the day. So that is me. That is my name, Jeki Muyeng. This is grade 9 home language. And there is my Twitter handle there. If you have concerns, or if there is one thing that which you would like us to do because you're struggling with it, mention me on Twitter, or you can write on the group chat and then we will deal with it. So what are we doing today? Today we are doing what? Okay, remember what we did yesterday? Yesterday we did group discussion. We learned about how group discussions are conducted, and there was a little group discussion that we did before the end of the lesson. So today we are still in speaking and listening. So, but today is not a group discussion. Today we will be learning about a debate. So we will be learning about what debating is, the reasons for why we debate. I know some of you are wondering right now why we are doing this. Okay, stay tuned, stay with us, and then you will learn why. Okay, then the benefits of debating. How does it help you as an individual? Accept any new marks for you to pass to the next grade. How does debate really benefit you? You realize that it benefits you personally, and you will learn that in the lesson of the day. And then again, we will also learn about how to prepare for a debate. Everything and anything that is worth doing, you have to prepare yourself for it so that it can go well. Okay, I mean, it is like with you right now. If you were going to the shop, if you're going to the grocery store and you didn't write a list of the things that which you need to buy, chances are there will be that one essential thing that you would forget. Okay, so yeah, we do not want that. And even in this lesson, we want to learn about how to prepare for a very great, amazing debate. Okay, all right. Okay, so speaking. So right, I know some of you are wondering, like I said yesterday, speaking is a skill, speaking is an asset, and you are going to need it in your life. Okay, not only now, but also later in life when you become a doctor or a politician or the president of South Africa, a minister, or whatever career aspirations you have. Okay, yes. So remember, we did say that speaking is one of the most valuable assets for the lives of learners, both in your personal life and also later on in your professional life. Okay, yes. And we also did say that you should be taught to talk with ease and with accuracy, that you should get to a point where speaking to you is as second nature as walking. Okay, you know that when you walk, you you are not really careful about where you step on, right? So even with speaking, it should really get to that point where you are so proficient enough that you really do not have to think so much. You really do not have to take heed of your steps. Okay, so the speaking process consists of the following stages. We have two of them, all right? Number one is planning. In planning, that is when we research and we organize. And number two is practicing and presenting. Okay, yes. So although these two stages, they seem to be tricky and all, they really are not. They are based on how our brains think, okay? Because even right now, if right now you can see your favorite car, and let us say that your favorite car is a Mercedes Benz, and you see a charcoal Mercedes Benz, okay? So what is going to happen is that when you see it, your brain will look for the word charcoal in your mind, and the word Mercedes Benz in your mind, and your brain will also excite your leg muscles, your arms muscles, your vocal cords, as well as your tongue. Okay, and then what's gonna happen is that you will be excited and you will shout, say, woo, look at that Shakul Mercedes Benz, you know. Yes. And so you realize that what your brain did for you to do that is that it organized all the information it needed for you to say that, and it also made a way for you to present it by making you to be able to speak with that much excitement, you know. Yes. So this is how it works, and for the remainder of the lesson, I will be going deeper and discussing these two stages, how they work and how we apply them when we are preparing to do a debate. Okay, because the thing is, if it was not for the lockdown, if you were at school, this is something that which you would be doing this week. Okay, so this is an oral assessment task, you know. You would have had to stand in front of your classmates in class, and you know, with the topic on the table, then you have to debate, and then you are going to be assessed on that. Okay, so we will look into some of the things that which we need to know, some of the things that we need to apply when we prepare for the debate, what we need to do so that we can be best prepared, you know. Yes, you know, they say that the way to win a war is you win it before you enter into the battlefield. So you should be a good debater even before you step in the front of the classroom to debate. Okay, and in our case it will be when we, you know, like the way we did yesterday with the discussion, that what we did is we gave people an opportunity to speak through the microphone so we can hear what they have to say. Okay, so yeah, even with the debate it would be the same thing. And yeah, I hope everybody's ready, that your phones are fully charged, you know, that you drank some hot water for your voice. And yeah, okay, let's continue. So stage number one, I said it is planning. That is when you research and you organize your facts. Okay, so when you plan, these are the things you need to do. You need to use appropriate register, style, and voice according to audience, purpose, context, and theme. Okay, remember that with every debate there will be a topic. Okay, there will be a topic, and obviously there will be other people, the audience, who will be listening, right? So in this context, the audience is the rest of your classmates who will not be competing in the debate. Okay, so this means that when you prepare, these are the things that you should bear in mind. Okay, you also should bear in mind the purpose of the debate, as well as the context and the theme. So the theme really has to do with the topic. Okay, so when you prepare, remember, you should always remember the theme. All right, so yeah, I mean, this is the same as you wanting to bake, right? So if you want to bake, then you want to get all those ingredients at the grocery shop, at the grocery store. What do you do? What you do is you first think about the things you're gonna need, right? Such as flour, butter, sugar, you know, the vanilla essence, the yeast, you know, and all those stuff. So after you have thought about them, that is when then you can think of, oh, okay, because I want to bake a cake and I need these things, then this is what I will need to go and buy from the shop. Okay, then you should also plan to use appropriate language. Okay, appropriate language. So this really is about the choice of words. Okay, so in your choice of words, you consider the following things. You consider the action verbs. Okay, remember what action verbs are. Verbs are doing words. Okay, so action verbs are those verbs which really show us an action. Why did you say action verbs? I said action verbs because there is another type of verbs which we call an auxiliary verb. Uh, As much as an auxiliary verb, it is a verb, but it is not an action verb. Okay, we're talking about auxiliary verbs such as is, are, am, will, would, could, so you know that all those, they are not action verbs, but they still are verbs. Okay, so even when you will be planning, remember to be able to choose the correct action verbs to use. Okay, some action verbs, okay, all action verbs are correct. Okay, but you will need to think about the context. You need to think about the theme. Okay, so according to the theme, some action verbs may not really be appropriate for that theme. Okay, some action verbs may not be appropriate for some certain contexts. All right. So that is something that we should really need to bear in mind every time when you prepare. Right. Also, remember your choice of words in terms of adjectives. Remember what adjectives are? Adjectives are descriptive words. It is those words we use when we describe a noun, right? Adjectives, they describe a noun. They tell us more about the noun, what a noun is, what a noun does. Okay, and also remember also about the degrees of comparison of adjectives. Right, we have the positive degree, the comparative degree, as well as the superlative degree of comparison. Right, yes. So for for example, big, bigger, biggest, those are the three adjective degrees, right? Those are the three degrees of adjectives. Okay, I just made an example right now, right? Then remember also adverbs. Okay, so what are adverbs? Adverbs are those words which tell us about the verb. Okay, so adverbs, they tell us about how a verb was conducted. They tell us about how an event happened. They tell us about how an action. They tell us more about the action word, how the action word was done or conducted. And there are different types of adverbs, and we will go through them later on in the later lessons. Okay, but for now, it is enough for us to know that adverbs, they really tell us about verbs. And also we have to have synonyms and antonyms. Remember, synonyms are two different words which mean the same thing. For example, fast and quick are synonyms. Then antonyms are two words which are opposite of each other. For example, light and dark. Okay, you also have to use homophones. What are homophones? Homophones are words which sound the same when they are spoken. They sound the same when they are pronounced. Okay, but they have different spellings and they have different meanings. So those are homophones. For example, we can say SON and SUN. So SON is son, SUN is also son. So the son of SON, it means a boy child, while SUN means that very big ball in the sky which gives us light and heat during the day. So those are the examples of homophones. Then you may need to use homonyms, right? So what are homonyms? Homonyms are those words which they are spelled the same, they are pronounced the same, but they have different meanings. Okay, for example, we can say BAT, that is a bat, why? Because a bat can be that winged animal which looks like a mouse with wings, and a bat is also that wooden stick that they use in cricket and basketball. See, so those are some examples of homonyms. So in your preparation again, you may need to use figures of speech. Remember your figures of speech, your simile. Okay, we have somebody who wants to say something. Hello, Lovit. Lovit. Okay, so figures of speech, we think of things such as simile, hyperbole, and etc. etc. There are a couple of figures of speech. Yes. Then idioms. You know what idioms are, right? Idioms are those phrases which mean some are those figurative phrases, and they mean something different. Okay. So yes. For example, the idiom to get in hot water, it means to get in trouble. Okay. So sometimes you may need to use idioms to help prepare for your debate. Then we have proverbs, proverbs, okay? Then we have tone, mood, or humor. Tone has to do with how you speak. The mood has to do with how you feel about what you are speaking. And the humor can be when you speak something which can really make other people to really laugh, like being funny and things like that. Okay. Then we have abbreviations. Abbreviations are the shortened forms of a word, and we always say that as far as abbreviations are concerned, please refrain from using informal abbreviations, those ones that we should use in social media, your TBH, your LOL, your SPWL, you know them, you name them, all those abbreviations. Please refrain from using them. You will lose marks and they will not really help to make you a better communicator or a better debater. Okay, so all those abbreviations, just keep them for your social media, for your Facebook page, for your Twitter, for your WhatsApp, but when it comes to this, please do not use them. Okay, thank you. And then you may also have to use prefixes and suffixes, right? We did say that prefixes are those letters at the beginning of a word, and they have a meaning, and they can alter the meaning of a word, right? For example, we can say, for example, we can say premature. Okay, so in the word premature, pre is our prefix, and you realize that if we remove the prefix pre, we will be left with mature, and then the meaning of the word will be changed. Okay, then we have suffixes, which are the letters which are found at the end of a word, and they also alter the meaning of a word. Okay, yes, so those are the things we may need to use when you prepare, as well as gender, plurals, and diminutives. All right. So please, if there is any one of you who doesn't understand, or or there is something that which you do not get, or you are lost or something, please do not hesitate. You know, raise your hand, and I'll give you a chance to answer your question, or you can just use our group chat to ask your question. And as soon as your question appears on my chat, I will attend to it. Okay. All right. So we're still on planning. Remember that you have to give facts, and with every fact that you give, with every opinion that you give, please also give the reasons why. Okay, so do not just give facts, do not just express your opinions, but also tell us why you are giving those facts and why you are giving those opinions. Okay, so you express denotative and connotative meaning as well as implied meaning. Like sometimes when you speak, you do not have to be explicit. Sometimes you can say something which will imply something else. All right. Okay. okay, all right, okay. All right, so the use of resource, okay, no, sorry. You also would need to express values, attitudes, bias, stereotypes, emotive, persuasive, and manipulative language. Emotive language, it is that type of language that they usually use, favorite author uses when they write their novels. Okay, so it is really that language which makes you to feel in a certain way. That's emotive language, and in your debate, it will be good to use that type of language. Persuasive language, that's when you become persuasive, when you convince people to see things the way that which you are seeing them. Okay, so that is when you convince people to agree with what you're saying. Then manipulative language, it is that language they like to use on us on TV, on commercials, on advertisements, where you will get okay, let me make this example where you get, let's say maybe it is me. I have a soap product, I call it the Jiki. Bath with Jiki soap. You will not have pimples, you will not have blemishes to you. What that will do to you is that it will make you to want to quit using the soap, and then you will want to go to the shop right now and use Jiki soap instead. Okay, so that is the manipulative language, and it is, and even our friends, especially you as teenagers, that is the language that which they use. Like when your friends want you to do something you do not want to do, like peer pressure, for example, they will use manipulative language on you. They will say, let us go to that party. Then if you don't want to go because you are afraid of what your parents will say, they'll use manipulative language and you say, oh, so you're still a child, you're still a child who needs permission from your parents to do things, such things. So of manipulative language, and in your debate you may really need to use it. Right. So you'll also need to use resources and reference materials such as dictionaries and thesauruses to select effective and precise vocabulary. Okay. Sometimes you realize that there are some words in there are some words which they are like cliche, right? Meaning that those words is almost like their meaning has been lost. Okay. So when we think of those words, we think of the word beautiful. Okay. I'm sure that right now, if you can say to someone that you are beautiful, they can really just dismiss that compliment because beautiful is that word which is really overused. Okay, so you can use the thesaurus and find another word which means the same as the word beautiful. Let's say maybe for example gorgeous, right? So if for example of the word beautiful, you say to someone that, oh, that actress is so gorgeous, right? So with that, you realize that the effect will be different because gorgeous is not as frequently used as the word beautiful, right? So that is one thing you may need to do when you be preparing for your debates, right? Yes. So remember, guys, if you have any questions with what we are doing in the lesson today, the chat is open. Please ask your question, and I will be so happy to help you out. Okay, so in case you are wondering, today we are learning about how to prepare to do a debate. Okay, so if it wasn't for the lockdown, if you were at school this week, this is something that which you would have been doing. Okay, so it is an oral assessment task. You have been required to do it. So remember, STEM lockdown digital school, it is also a school, although it is on an online platform, but nonetheless it is still a school. And so what you do at school we also do right here. Okay, and we really are doing our best to emulate as much as possible the classroom situation on this online platform. Okay, all right, so that is what we are doing today, how to prepare for a debate, right? So that when you go
So you're breaking up.
and
Sir,
you are asked to prepare to do a debate, you will be much more prepared to do it,
Sir, we
and you'll
can't
be
hear
able
you.
to earn some. Hello, Divash.
So you're breaking up.
You what?
We can't hear you.
Am I breaking up? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. They say I'm breaking up. How about now? Can you all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Is it fine now? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, thank you. Now we are back. We can continue because I am no longer breaking up. Right. So yes, let's continue. So as you wait. Okay, so we are done with stage one, which was planning. Now we go to stage two, which is practicing and presenting. Right. So remember that as you are debating, you will be speaking directly to the audience, right? And your audience would be your classmates. All right. Yes. And you should remember also that you need to refer to relevant sources that have been consulted. Okay, so if you used Wikipedia, please, if you used that encyclopedia they call Britannica, please refer it, okay? It really doesn't make you sound dumb or ignorant or stupid or whatever, No, it really doesn't. It doesn't, That is a good thing to do, if somebody has helped you, if all these sources have helped you, then a good thing to do, an excellent thing to do is to just acknowledge them, acknowledge that you use Wikipedia, acknowledge that you used Encyclopedia Britannica. Yes, you need to, that is what you need to do to acknowledge all that. Fine, you also need to include a range of facts and examples. All right. Okay, all right, okay. So the using of examples, all right, and then you also need to be able to develop ideas and arguments, okay? So make sure that your content is original. Why? Because if it happens that we are in a debate and you say something, okay, there is a hand raised. Okay. I see you have raised your hand, Benny, but I see you do not have a mic, so I cannot unmute you so that you can speak. So please use the chat to ask and then we'll help you. Okay, so remember you need to develop ideas and arguments. Make sure that your content is original. Okay. Make sure that the content is original because we do not want you to find yourself in a space where people realize that what you're saying is really something which is not from you. That maybe you're saying something that you got from somewhere else and you are saying it as if like it's yours. Okay, we do not want such instances. Not instances, right? So also remember that the content should be creative. Okay, we all are creative. We all have ideas that other people do not have. So make sure you use them
Sir, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, apologize about that. Okay, so where were we? Yes, we were here where. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so we were here where I was saying that we should use the elements of speech forms. Okay, that your debate there should be an introduction, there should be some transitions, the body as well as the conclusion. Okay, and when you debate you apply the art of persuasion. Okay, so that is when you are convincing other people to see the topic the way that which you see it. Okay, it's about really gathering people around to see what you see. Okay, so that is really what it's all about. So another thing is remember to use organizational structures, okay, such as a chronological structure, which means that when you talk about your facts and your ideas and your arguments, please make sure that they are chronological, that so that nobody will be confused. All right. Make sure that they are topical. That is, make sure that they are in line with the topic. Okay. Do not introduce a foreign idea which is not in any way related to the topic. Also remember about the cause and effect. So cause and effect, that is when you talk about the relationship. That is when you talk about the effect and what has really caused that effect. Okay. As an example, let's say maybe we were debating about the COVID-19 pandemic. So you can say that there has been the lockdown because there has been high rates of infections and high rates of cases of positive cases, right? So because of that, there was a lockdown. So from here, you did talk about the cause and effect. Okay, we know that the cause is the high rate of infections, and the effect is the lockdown. Okay, so that was just an example for cause and effect. Sometimes we also need to compare and contrast things. All right. So yeah. So not only that, sometimes you may need to give a solution to the problem that which may be at hand. Okay, yeah. All right, and then one of the most important things to remember, I can say, is really this. Okay, that you should remember that when you present, okay, when you present your argument, make sure that it is clear, and also use appropriate types of proof. Things like this, they really make your argument to be strong. Okay, so what kind of proof can you use? You can use proof such as statistics. Okay, so from my example of the COVID-19 pandemic, you can really give statistics to say that uh, infection rate has been at this amount of percent, and that's too much because it means it's so many people. So those are statistics. And you know that many people, they do believe that numbers do not lie. There are some things that which words cannot really express best, but we express them with numbers. That is why we have mathematics at school. That is why we are learning mathematics, so that we can express those things that which we cannot express them in words. We can be able to express them in numbers, and that is where mathematics come. Okay, then we also have testimony. Okay, so back to our example of the COVID-19 pandemic, you can give a test if maybe there is someone who has since recovered from the COVID-19 virus. Then you can talk to that person, then you can give their testimony in your debate. You see, so that will really help to make your argument to really be strong, to really be more persuasive and more convincing. Because everything you say, you can back it up. Because everything you say, you can back it up. It is like you are saying, I am a millionaire. For sure, if you say that you are a millionaire, you can back it up. You can just pull out your smartphone and go to your banking app, and then you show them the balance in your account. Okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, and another thing, you should make sure that whatever appropriate types of proof you use, make sure that they are credible. Okay, make sure that they are believable, they are valid, and also make sure that they are relevant to the topic. Okay, so if you are talking about the COVID-19 pandemic and then you give statistics of people suffering from HIV and AIDS, then that's irrelevant. Okay, although those statistics may be correct, but it is irrelevant to what we are talking about. Okay, so those are the things we really need to look into. And again, when you address people, please use forms of address or repetitions such as ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we know that in grade 9, how old are we in grade 9? We are about let's see, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so in as much as you are not really ladies and gentlemen at that age, but please, debate is a formal thing, it prepares us for our professional life. So just address your classmates and as ladies and gentlemen. Okay, certainly not boys and girls, right? Don't say boys and girls, say ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you. Then remember also you have to use appropriate language structures and conventions. So, for example, we are talking about things such as finite verbs and auxiliary verbs to express tense and mood accurately. Okay, so since this is the second lesson for grade 9, so if it happens that maybe you do not know these things, if there is something that which I went through that you do not know, please note it down, mention it to me on Twitter, or you can write in the group chat, and then we can really come to really go through a lesson of those things, okay, so that you may be better prepared for term 3 work. Okay, yes. All right, where are we? So again, you also need to use parts of speech to express day-to-day oral communication. You know that, right? So remember also to use rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are those questions which do not have an answer because everybody knows what the answer is. Mhm. And remember, sometimes you may need to pause, say something, then pause, then continue to talk. Sometimes we also need to use repetition. Repetition, that is when you repeat something you've said as a way to emphasize it. All right. And the most important thing now is this one, verbal and non-verbal techniques. Okay. So, number one, the tone. The tone has to do with your voice. Okay, right. Then we have a voice projection or modulation. So, with this one, I remember back when I was still in high school, when we prepare for oral tasks, debates, group discussions, public speaking, and the likes, they taught us to do this voice projection thing. So, what they taught us to do, they said that we say voice projection out, and then we go like, hey, voice projection out, hey, voice projection out, hey. So, what that does is that it helps to clear up your throat. It helps to it helps to clear your throat. It also warms up your vocal cords so that when you come to speak, you will be able to speak loud enough. Okay. Even if you are one of those learners who really speak with soft voices, but if you could do this voice projection exercise, it will really help to elevate your voice a bit so that you can be able to talk a bit more louder. Okay, please try it, and you will see that indeed it works. It works for everybody. Also the volume, the volume, the next thing is, okay, remember you should not speak too low because you may not be heard, and you should not speak too loud either. Just speak with very moderate volume so that you can be audible enough. Also, pace and tempo are also important. Pace or tempo, it is about the speed. It can be able to hear you, and then they will be confused because you're speaking too fast, and they will be able to hear what you'll be saying, and it'll be like, So yes, guys, please do not speak too fast, okay? Because I mean, you heard that, right? Did you hear everything I said when I tried to speak too fast? Chances are you didn't, and if you did, chances are you heard something that which I really didn't mean to say. And on the other hand, if you speak slowly, then people would get bored because you are speaking too slow. And for us to give you attention, it would be difficult because you would be boring to us. So, do you see the difference? If I speak too slow, I sound boring. If I speak too fast, I sound confusing. So, you need to find a way to be in the middle where you speak neither too fast nor too slow. Okay, right. So, that is what tempo is all about. Then we have phrasing. Phrasing is really about how you put your words together when you speak. Then there is eye contact. You need to establish eye contact with your audience. I mean, imagine if you can speak looking down. Okay, who is going to want to listen to you? I wouldn't want to listen to you if you speak looking down. Okay, it will be like what you are saying is not serious. I do not really need to pay attention to it. Right. Another thing will be something said, let your facial expression show that. If you say something positive, something amazing, let your facial expression show it. If you say something serious, let your facial expression show it. Okay, yes. Then remember also your gestures and your body language. It is very important to know that what your body does when you debate or when you speak in general, it does say something. Okay, what your hands do, what your feet do,
Sir,
what your eyes
sir, can you
do,
please
your
we can't hear
shoulders,
you.
your back, your posture, how you stand, how you sit. Yes. Hello, Nagu. How can I help you?
Sir, please repeat what you said. I couldn't
How
hear
can I
you.
help you? What I said about what?
Sir,
Which part didn't you hear?
sir, from gesture, I think you on gesture or facial expression between the two.
Okay, I will start on facial expressions. It's fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I was saying that with facial expressions, you need to make sure that your facial expression it shows it also helps to communicate what you are saying. Okay, so if you are saying something sad, your face should also be sad. Okay, imagine if you say something sad but your face looks happy. That is very incongruent. Okay, so your facial expressions should go with what you are saying. So if you say something serious, then you should also have a serious face so that we can be able to take you seriously. Okay, if you say something sad, your face should also be sad. If you say something which is positive and happy, your face should also be happy. All right. Okay, so that is what I meant, and I hope now we are together. So it is also the same with your gestures and body language. They do say something, okay? The way you use your arms when you speak, whether you fold your arms or you put them at the back of your at your back or maybe on your hips, wherever you put them, okay, they do say something to us. Okay, so that is something you may also need to remember. Okay, so yes, that is the end of our lesson. I thank you so much for your attendance. Thank you for every question, for every comment. Okay, so this is what we learned today, what debating is, the reasons for debating, the benefits of debating, as well as how to prepare for a debate, right? And tomorrow we will talk about how a debate is conducted in class, and we are also going to have our own debate right here. Okay, So there is our topic there. I hope the topic is very interesting enough for everybody, and we will debate about it tomorrow. Okay? Yes. Although the lesson is over, the conversation is not. So please follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We are there. Use the hashtag LockdownESchool. Talk to us, your complaints, your comments, so that we can be able to better help you. So from us here at STEM Lockdown Digital School, we are out. It is the end of the lesson. Goodbye. Take care. See you tomorrow. Great nights. Same time, same place. Goodbye. I love you so much. Bye bye.
wait. Does everyone have